AC up?
Yeah, you can.
Keep me awake.
So, do I do the elevator?
Elevator first.
Okay. I'll get my timer out.
You don't have to, we don't put in
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
so-
strict.
Just,
Okay, excellent. So, people with spinal cord injuries not only have impaired mobility, but they have health problems due to the lack of exercise for their lower bodies. The damage to their spinal cord, the damage to the spinal cord prevents the electrical signals from the brain from reaching the muscles in the legs. But by using electrical muscle stimulation, you can directly stimulate those leg muscles, triggering the nerves, causing the muscle to contract and generate a functional motion. Myolyn has developed patent-pending methods for precisely stimulating 6 different muscle groups in the legs, allowing someone who is completely paralyzed to produce a powerful cycling motion using their own leg muscles. Myolyn's first product, the Myocycle, is a stationary exercise bike that is leveraging this remarkable technology. The Myocycle is disruptive because it is designed for both the clinical environment and the home. Current products are extremely expensive and difficult to use, so they're impractical for use in the home. But the Myocycle uses Myolyn's automation techniques in order to make the Myocycle so easy to use, we can simply drop ship the product directly to our customers' front doors, making this technology available to a wider audience than ever before. All right, so directly into the 20-minute pitch. So, my name is Alan Hamlet. I am the co-founder and chief executive officer of Myolyn. And first of all, thank you guys all for being here. I think I know a couple of you, Joe and Jennifer. And this is actually my 3rd year participating in the game Shootout. So I always really value you guys' feedback, so thank you all for participating. Myolyn is a medical technology company that uses electrical stimulation to help people living with paralysis regain their mobility, health, and independence. So this is Kevin now. Kevin was very active as a child and as a young adult, but he got into a terrible accident. Kevin suffered a spinal cord injury, leaving him completely paralyzed from the waist down. Not only did this drastically reduce Kevin's mobility, but it led to several severe secondary health problems. People with paralysis suffer from reduced cardiovascular health, muscle and bone atrophy, muscle spasms, and pressure ulcers. The solution to these problems is functional electrical stimulation, or FES. When someone like Kevin has a spinal cord injury, the damage to their spinal cord blocks the signals from the brain from reaching the muscles in the legs. The muscles themselves are perfectly fine. You just can't hear what the brain is saying. Using electrical stimulation, you can bypass the damage to the spinal cord and directly stimulate those muscles through electrode pads placed on the skin. This triggers the nerve to fire, causing that muscle to contract and generate a functional motion. Myolyn is first using this technology in a device that allows people who are even completely paralyzed to produce a powerful, smooth pedaling motion and achieve therapeutic load-bearing exercise. Introducing the Myocycle. The Myocycle is a stationary exercise bike that uses Myolyn's patent-pending technology to stimulate 6 different muscle groups in the legs, allowing someone to produce a powerful, smooth pedaling motion. The Myocycle Pro is a physical therapy tool that allows physical therapists to improve outcomes for their patients. And the Myocycle Home is an affordable and easy-to-use FES cycling system that allows anyone with paralysis to get the benefits of FES cycling from the comfort of their own home. So over the last 1.5 years, we've been testing Myocycle prototypes with our 3 different clinical partners. We actually first met Kevin at a physical therapy clinic in New Jersey. He was the first patient to ever ride a Myocycle. He's been using it for 18 months now, and he's seen improvements in his cardiovascular health, his muscle mass, and he's had fewer muscle spasms. So far, we've had 18 different patients use the Myocycle, including Kevin and Danny here, who's on an early Myocycle prototype in this picture. And these patients have ridden MyoCycle prototypes on 154 times and cycled the equivalent of 1,500 miles. So we're at a really exciting time for the company right now. We actually just finished final product development, including our custom 6-channel electrical muscle stimulator and all the proprietary stimulation control software which goes with it, which those two components comprise the brain of the MyoCycle and are really the FES platform that we can use for future products. Their MyoCycle is a Class 2 medical device, so we completed development in accordance with FDA's standards and under our quality management system, and we're currently preparing our 510(k) application, and we'll be submitting it by the end of next month. So we anticipate being able to launch both the MyoCycle Home and the MyoCycle Pro in the second quarter of next year. And there are hundreds of thousands of people like Kevin and Danny who can really benefit from the MyoCycle. The Christopher and Dana Rees Foundation estimates that there are over 750,000 people in the United States alone with spinal cord injuries who could benefit from the MyoCycle. Additionally, there are 30,000 physical therapy clinics in the U.S. who could use the MyoCycle to generate additional revenue for their clinic, as well as help improve outcomes for their patients. So FES cycling technology has been around for a while, and people love these types of products. I mean, they love this technology. Some people, one person said, my wife and mom had tears in their eyes the first time they saw me on the FES bike. After I ride, I just feel better. The benefits of FES cycling are outstanding. But the current products are extremely expensive and way too difficult to use, making them impractical for use in the home. So people say, I love one, wish I could afford one. Owning an FES bike at home would be amazing, but new ones are way more money than I can afford it. And desperately looking for an FES bike without spending $20,000. So what makes Myolyn able to disrupt this underserved market? Well, 3 things. First, ease of use. Our patent-pending methods for controlling the stimulation automate the whole process, determining the stimulation parameters and enabling us to simply make the product so simple that we can ship it to a customer's front door and their home. Our competitors require a person to take the product to the customer's home, set it up for them, train them how to use it. This is a huge distribution bottleneck and just not a scalable business model. So they haven't been able to penetrate the home FES cycling market. Secondly, optimized therapy. Because we're automizing this whole process, the stimulation is customized to the individual's biomechanics, and the stimulation parameters are able to maximize the amount of power that they're able to generate, maximizing their workout, improving the benefits of their workout. And finally, we've built the whole business around the idea of serving this underserved population of the home FES cycling market. So we designed the MyoCycle over the last 3 years to be affordable. We designed it from the ground up, and as a result, it's 1/3 the cost of competing products. And the data that we've been collecting corroborates these competitive advantages. MyoCycle users on average spend 23% more time per workout using the MyoCycle, which is a testament to how easy it is to use. They spend much less time setting it up, more time working out. On average, they burn 14.5 times more calories per workout than on our competitors' products. And finally, the retail price of the MyoCycle is 41% less. So we have 1/3 the cost of goods and maintain very high margins while still doing that. So we've segmented our target market into 3 different groups: spinal cord injury rehab centers, accredited centers, physical therapy clinics, and spinal cord injury patients. The first segment is rather small, but it's very important. And I'll tell you a little bit more why in a second. But we are using a direct sales force to really cultivate relationships with these centers. And we use a network of independent sales reps to reach the broader physical therapy community. And we're using a network of complex rehab technology, or CRT suppliers, in order to reach the general spinal cord injury patient population. These CRT suppliers distribute things like custom wheelchairs and prescription mobility products, and the MyoCycle can plug directly into their sales pipeline. They can call the patient's doctor and obtain a prescription on their behalf. They can demo the product to the customer, close the sale, while we just simply drop ship the product to the customer's home and are able to reach a much broader audience using this distribution model, which no other company can use right now. So there's 3 different ways we're going to create awareness and market to these segments. And I said the accredited SCI sites are really important, and that's because not only are they key opinion leaders, but they see 10,000 spinal cord injury patients every year. So by developing relationships with a direct sales force and using direct marketing to these clinics, we can help generate referrals for patients after they're done with their physical therapy, their 8 to 10 weeks of physical therapy, to get a MyoCycle for their home and to continue and maintain their health using the MyoCycle after rehab. Secondly, we're using adaptive sports channels like wheelchair basketball, wheelchair rugby, hand cycling. Using these channels, we can reach 30,000 spinal cord injured athletes who are trying to maintain an active and healthy lifestyle. And finally, we're using traditional channels such as online marketing, web marketing, and print advertising. So we have a great product, huge underserved market. We've got a way to get our product to our customers. How are we going to make money? Well, we are selling the MyoCycle Pro to rehab centers and physical therapy clinics with the option of buying it outright for $14,900, including 2-year warranty and free installation and shipping. Or they can pay a one-time installation fee and pay a recurring monthly rental fee based on a 1, 2, or 3-year rental term. And they can, once they have their MyoCycle, they can start generating revenue for their clinic right away. They can bill the use of the MyoCycle to their patient's insurance company under existing CPT codes at a rate of $180 an hour. Patients who want a MyoCycle for the home can buy a MyoCycle for $9,900, including a 2-year warranty and free shipping anywhere in the continental United States. We can ship the MyoCycle anywhere for $300 or less. And they'll have the option of using a third-party financier to make it even easier to get into to get an FES cycle in their home and really start getting these benefits of FES cycling. So over the last 3 years, we've developed relationships with a lot of clinical and commercial partners. The 3 clinics that we're working with for testing the MyoCycle prototypes are Brooks Rehabilitation Hospital in Jacksonville, University of Miami, and a clinic called Push to Walk up in New Jersey. We've also had ongoing dialogue with Stay in Step Recovery Center, the Center of Recovery and Exercise in Orlando, and the UF Health Shands Rehab Hospital. All of these groups have expressed interest in purchasing a MyoCycle once they become available. And Florida Institute is one of our biggest investors and commercial partners. Thank you, Joe. You guys have been very helpful. Roe Brady is a design firm that helped us with the industrial design and ergonomics of the product. And Greenlight.Guru is helping us with our quality management system. So Myolyn was founded by myself and Myolyn's Chief Technology Officer, Dr. Matthew Bellman, back in graduate school 3 years ago when we were finishing up our PhDs in robotics. I was studying artificial intelligence and self-driving vehicles, and previously worked at SpaceX, designing spaceflight critical ground support equipment for the Falcon 9 rocket, and leading teams in the construction of these designs. Dr. Bellman has spent 7 years now researching how to control the human body using electrical stimulation, and previously worked at the Institute for Human and Machine Cognition on fast-running robots, as well as robotic exoskeletons, also for people with paralysis. We have a very talented group of engineers working full-time, and our board of advisors includes Bob Well, who's the founder of Well Design Incorporated, a world-renowned medical device design firm. Denise Mason, a marketing executive with over 20 years of experience under her belt. David Greenspan, who's a regulatory consultant. He's been getting Class 2 medical devices cleared by the FDA for over 40 years now. And Dave Molyneux and Jeff Fitzsimmons, who are some local successful entrepreneurs who started In Vivo, a medical device company which they sold to Philips Healthcare. We have our executive advisor, Robin Karlstein. He was the former global senior vice president of the Advanced Wound Devices division of Smith & Nephew for over 17 years. So we're at a really exciting time. We finished development of our first 2 prototypes, development and testing. We finished final product development. We've raised several $100,000 of seed funding. And we're at the point now where we're preparing our application for FDA clearance. And like I said, we are anticipating being able to launch the product at the beginning of the second quarter in 2017. So we're kind of switching gears from product development to manufacturing, sales, and marketing. So Myolyn is currently offering potential investors the opportunity to invest up to $1.25 million in the company or in exchange for equity. We've raised $750,000 so far of that. So there's $500,000 still available, but Joe is saying that Florida Institute will give me another $200,000.
Nice one.
So we really just need $300,000. And that money will be used to obtain 510K clearance from the FDA. We're going to scale up our sales and marketing campaign in anticipation of clearance and product launch in the second quarter. So we're positioning the company to be acquired by a larger medical device manufacturer, such as Medtronic, PGO Global, or Hanger, within the next 4 to 5 years. And through an analysis of characteristic acquisitions of companies in the industry who have similar technologies, we predicted that we could get these early seed round investors a 15 times return on their investment based on PE ratios of similar acquisitions by these companies and looking at our financial projections over the next 5 years. So Myolyn's come a long way. We started the company 3 years ago in Matt's spare bedroom. And then in 2014 we moved into the Innovation Hub. We were at the Innovation Hub for 15 months until we grew the team out and we're on top of each other. And so we graduated from the Innovation Hub and moved into a facility out in West Gainesville. And we've been there for probably a year and a half almost. Yeah, about a year and a half. And now we finally completed final product development, and we're at the point now where we can start getting this product in front of the people who can really benefit from it. So we're really excited to be at this point. And this is actually my proudest moment as an entrepreneur. This video was taken 2 weeks ago in Zurich, Switzerland. The team was in Zurich, Switzerland, where Kevin pedaled this tricycle using his own leg muscles and Myolyn's FES system. In front of a crowd of over 4,000 cheering onlookers, he was able to pedal on his own 750 meters in just 5 minutes. And that's really what Myolyn is all about, helping people with paralysis using electrical stimulation to regain their mobility, health, and independence. And we believe that cycling is just the first step. We're not a cycling company, we're an FES company. So our FES platform can be applied to many different products. We want to increase the breadth and depth of our product line, not just for spinal cord injury, but for people with strokes, cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, many different neurological disorders. And we think there's a lot of different people that we can help in many different ways. So we're very excited about it. Thank you guys very much for volunteering to be judges at the game Shootout. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have.
What about insurance coverage? I mean, I know that a lot of times insurance will cover scooters, lifts, and sometimes the VA will for the veterans and other things. So
Right.
this
So
can make it more affordable for more people.
absolutely. So right now, FES cycles for the home are not reimbursed as a matter of policy. Our competitors claim they can get up to 50% insurance reimbursement rate. We know that, for example, workers' compensation and TRICARE for veterans will reimburse the product like 100% of the time for people meeting certain acceptance criteria, spinal cord injury of a certain level, and intact lower motor neurons. So we can try to focus on workers' compensation and TRICARE and get those sales to those through insurance. But we also believe that, not right off the bat, but we think we can add claims which could potentially change the decision on FES cycles. And like I said, we've seen statistics on different insurance companies and how they reimburse these types of products. And we believe we can get around 75% insurance reimbursement rate with our plan. We're going to have a template which we can basically fill out on behalf of our patient and submit it to their payer. And basically, it's a long process, but if you file the claim for them, file an appeal if they get denied, and file a request for external review after that, we think we can get a 75% reinsurance reimbursement rate. partially because we've talked to many physical therapists who have done this for their customers, and what they do is they allow them to use the device for a month, for example, and they document the improvements that they made, and they attach that to the claim and show that, yes, look, they're getting a benefit from this. So the short answer to the question is it's not reimbursed as a matter of policy. We will help our customers file claims. We expect to get 50 to 75% insurance reimbursement rate, and hopefully in the future we can do a larger scale clinical study to help prove increases in bone mineral density, which in their letters right now detailing why they don't reimburse it, they say the results have been conflicting. And with our performance improvements, basically maximizing the power output, we're loading the musculoskeletal system more, which is really what promotes bone growth. So we're experimenting, or we're potentially thinking about a longer term study, a longitudinal study showing increases in bone mineral density to help insurance.
And because you don't want it for all the IBS, you just want it for the Myolyn.
Right. Yeah, we want it for the mile cycle, right?
How's your 510K clearance going with that? You're getting ready to do that? Are you, can you get in under any kind of predicate device?
Yeah. So basically our competitor's device is our predicate device. We went through the whole design process, and we're using Greenlight.guru, which is a great quality management system software, and they've been helping us along, as well as David Greenspan. We are anticipating submitting it by the end of next month. So we're in validation right now, product validation. So we have a product, one of the final products going to Brooks tomorrow for testing, and we have another unit that's another final product unit at a testing lab up in Atlanta, which they're doing electromagnetic compatibility testing and environmental testing and all that. So assuming all those tests go well, we'll be submitting it in the next few weeks.
If I recall, you have some IP around the stimulation algorithms that you use to do the actual nerve stimulation.
That's right, yep.
What's your status on that right now?
So we got a letter back from WIPO, the World Patent Office, and we're basically, they cleared us to submit patents to individual countries. So now we're going to submit patents, applications to the US, European Union, and Canada. So we're basically about to submit all those patents, country-specific patents.
So you've maintained your position and you're moving that forward?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you outsource the manufacturing of the Myocycle, or how does?
Good question. So right now we get all the major components manufactured by our vendors, like the PCBs and the frame for the bike. We receive those components and we do all the final assembly, programming, and testing of the device in-house. So we basically just do final assembly and package it and ship it.
No question for me.
You covered it very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I know you've heard it a couple times, so.
Just a couple.
What's your personal story that got you started down this path?
Well, I've always been very entrepreneurial, and I've always been kind of technical. I met Matt, my co-founder, in undergraduate school here at UF, and we were in the same graduate program, the robotics PhD program, and we actually lived together, and we were always spitballing ideas for businesses and talking about technology, about this and that technology is going to change the world, and we wanted to be involved. So we actually took an engineering entrepreneurship class, Dr. Eric Sanders' class, and
It's got a doctorate now.
professor, I guess.
That's okay.
But that was actually Myolyn's first business plan in engineering entrepreneurship. Matt had been researching for his dissertation FES cycling, controlling the human body using electrical stimulation. He was doing that in undergrad and continued to do it in grad school, and was specifically doing it to cycling. And we started looking into the market, and we were like, this has a lot of potential. There's a lot of people with spinal cord injuries that could really benefit from this, and the current products out there don't meet the needs of the market. And, I think everyone knows somebody who has some kind of disability or paralysis. I have family members who had hemiparesis from stroke, or I have an uncle who had a traumatic brain injury and was left basically bedridden. And so like everybody knows somebody who has movement issues. So I think this was really, really powerful for me, and it seemed like it would be really helpful. So we spun out of that class after that spring semester. We founded the company over this summer, and it kind of took off from there. It's been a lot of fun. And a good ride so far.
Thank you.
Thank you.